Mhm. We can talk briefly about the issue of angels in Genesis 6. This was a catastrophic event which led to the flood, and I think the language point to be made here is that B'nai Elohim in Genesis 6 is found elsewhere to mean angels, twice in Job, actually three times in Job, Job 1, Job 2, and also Job 38, angels, one in Daniel 3:25 in the Aramaic there, also angels. So the prima facie evidence here, the obvious evidence, is that sons of God marrying daughters of men suggests a category difference between angels and human beings, producing giants. But more strictly speaking, if one doesn't want to stay with the Old Testament, we don't, we want to see what the New Testament says about this, then in 2 Peter 2:4 and in Jude 6, starting with the one in 2 Peter 2:4, angels who sinned. The aorist participle is past tense there. It's not sinning angels as though they're sinning at the time of the writer in 2 Peter. No, they sinned just as God did not spare them who sinned, the angels, 2 Peter 2:4. He didn't spare the ancient world but brought the flood on it. And Jude 6, again, speaks of the angels who've been victims of God's punishment, and rightly so. I note that in 2 Peter, it says that the angels were entartarized. They were put into Tartarus. That's not where the dead human beings go. Therefore, when Jesus went to preach to the angels who had sinned, who were locked up, that would be the same idea. He announced then his own resurrection and triumph to the angels who had been put in Tartarus, pending judgment at the very end. So I think that's rather clear. Now, one can try to say, from a more philosophical point of view, it doesn't make any sense that angels could cohabit with women, but who knows what an angel can do? Who appears as a man? What if they moved outside of their legal habitation, their legal boundaries, as Jude and 2 Peter say? Then it's entirely possible they produced this horrible hybrid, which in itself produced giants. And they were Nephilim, they were fallen ones, giants, and they may be the origin of the demonic world entirely. The product of those angel-human marriages would have been demonic personalities. Some of them are incarcerated, others are free in the sublunar space under the prince of the power of the air, who is the Satan, the devil, who was, of course, also the serpent. That's a code name in Genesis. Serpent was the devil, as Revelation says. All of that makes actually perfectly good sense. God allowed angels to have free will, and some of them, alas, abuse that free will exactly as human beings have done. Thus, the devil fell into condemnation, as Paul says. He wasn't created evil. That would be an atrocious idea. Man wasn't created evil. So evil occurred both in the supernatural realm and the realm of human beings. That seems to be the story there. So I invite you to look at that very carefully, read up on the commentaries, and it's a shattering event that was so bad that it led to the flood.